Hello, everybody.
Hi, Sonia.
Good morning. How are you guys
Good
doing?
morning, Sonia.
Good morning, Serena. How are you?
Good, good. How about yourself?
Doing great.
Did you see my SMS?
No, did you text me?
I did it yesterday.
Oh, I'm sorry. Give me 1 second. Let me go ahead and make this video live real quick. 1 sec. Okay.
And I think I sent the link, the flyer.
Morning.
Oh, good morning, everyone.
Hi, Rosie.
Good morning.
I did not get a text from you. Oh, it's you, Serena.
Oh,
You sure you sent it to me?
okay. I'll try today again.
Try again. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Ooh, Facebook has a new thing happening. It says, try the new design for going live. We've designed a new way to go live on Facebook. Try the pre-release version of an updated way to connect and interact with your audience. Easier access. Interesting. Well, maybe we'll try it. Live producer. See if this works while I'm doing Zoom. Give me a sec here. So all of the platforms that we're used to are doing, all these new upgrades to,
What?
oh, interesting. Okay.
In command?
Now this is a Facebook one. So interesting. All right. Cool. All right, we're gonna get started here. Sorry, I'm intrigued when they're doing this, right? So you guys saw did you guys see how Facebook Messenger has a new, there's the new rooms on Facebook?
I didn't check. No.
Yeah,
No,
so
I didn't check either.
instead of, how you could call on, you could make calls on what do you call that? Messenger app. So you could do, if you go to your Messenger app, do you guys all use Messenger or? Yeah.
Yes.
I do.
Yes.
I do.
So when you go to your Messenger app, once you click on, whoever you're talking to, there's the two buttons up here.
Oh, okay.
So you can do regular call, but you can also do like a FaceTime call.
FaceTime. Oh, okay.
A lot of times I used to do this as I would have like a Facebook group, like for instance, in the mornings with my accountability partners, this is what we would use. So we have a group message going with 4 people, and then you just hit FaceTime and it calls all of them at once from that Messenger group. And, it's great. It's really fun. They have like fun filters and all kinds of stuff, but sometimes the quality is not as good. So now there's something called Rooms on Facebook, okay? So if you just go to your regular Facebook, go on your phone, the first thing that it says when you're on your front page or just the, your regular menu page, there's a little button there that says Rooms. See that little, it says create a room. It's hard to see, sorry guys. Create a room.
What? Room? No.
Yeah, create a room. So what that means is you're going live right now and anyone can hop on that call. But it's not live for other people. It's not like on Facebook Live. It's just, it's like starting a instant Zoom meeting, right? Because you can plan a Zoom meeting in advance, or you can just start one right away and people can hop on there if they have your code. So here, you can choose to either have anyone hop on that Zoom call, basically room call, or you can have or you can invite specific people to only see it. So let's say you create a room on here, okay? And you say, okay, anyone can join. What it does is it doesn't actually put the video on your Facebook page. Like no one can see a video of you talking, but it says Sonia started a new room to join this room right now. So is this feature how they did the online bold session? No. Hi, Laura. No, it's not. Bold, I think, was just streamed from everybody's Zoom webinar accounts or something. I'm not sure what they used, but they did not use rooms. That was just us watching a live. So with the rooms, no one can watch you. It's like a private room.
Oh, okay.
It's kind of a new concept, but it's pretty cool. My point was that you can do a messenger call with multiple people and do it like face to face, but with the rooms, the quality is better. So you may want to try.
Sonia, I didn't see that.
I don't know if it's on a laptop.
Oh, okay.
Let me see if it is. Oh, your live video has ended.
What?
Weird. Let me just do it the other way. So can I go live like this? Sorry guys, just. It doesn't let me go live now. So bizarre. Okay, never mind. So, yeah, I don't think I see it when you. Oh yeah, you can do it. So Zarina, if you just go to look here, I'll share my screen. You can do it on Facebook too. Do this.
Yeah.
Okay, see right here. Great room.
Ah, okay. Thank you.
Yeah. Oops. Siri.
Oh, yeah, got it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So when you do that, it says, "Oh, do you want to?" You can make a thing for it here too, and I'm not sure. Maybe it's not going because I'm on so many different things right now.
Okay.
Oh, here we go. See this? So
Yeah.
who's invited? Okay, and then you can start now or you can start it later. But when you click on who's invited, anyone on your friends list can hop into that room when they see. They're not going to see your video. They're not going to see you talking. This is not like going live.
Okay.
But you start your private meeting, and once you do, then make like a status update on your wall that says Sonia started a new room. Do you want to join? So they can or cannot. It's yeah. Okay.
Okay,
So
got it.
thing. So all right. So it would say it like this. Do you see this? Sonia's.
Oh, yeah, I saw that. But it says like join me or keep me company, bored at home.
Yeah, exactly. That's exactly what the whole point was. Yeah. So
Oh.
and it's better quality than the group call just through Messenger.
Oh, okay, okay. Happy hour. Wow. Okay.
So many moving parts, I know. So, all right. So today we are in Spark number 3, and I did upload the document into that group just now. So it's your guide for. Yeah. So let me. So it's there. You can download it from there. Spark number 3 is what it is, and it's gonna look like this. Okay, so you can always download these, so you can kind of follow along. Oops.
Oh, Spark 3.
Yeah, that one is mine. Let me go ahead and open the other one. Give me a sec here. Participant guide. There you go. So I'm just going to show you real quick what today entails, but we're going to do some testing on our phones today as well. So here's your Sparks guide. So today is about powerful language getting results, but I really want to I don't want to talk about scripts in the sense of cold calling. I want to talk about scripts on video and on messages, like live messages, and what to say, how you're gonna do your Zoom calls and live videos and stuff like that, because we really need to focus on that stuff. Okay, so in the live guide, there's in the guide, the participant guide for Spark number 3, you have a lot of different activities in here that have to do with limiting beliefs, because people have a lot of limiting beliefs about using scripts, right? Because we just feel like we're like this robot or whatever. So I was actually listening to a really great YouTube video this morning about videos, right? And what they said was, you gotta have a script down so that it kind of just rolls off your tongue every time you do a video. And that doesn't mean you're gonna script out your entire content, right? You're just gonna have to have like a beginning, and then you put whatever you're gonna talk about in there, and then you're gonna have an ending, right? That most likely will have some sort of a call to action. So I really want you guys to not think about scripts in the sense that, this is gonna be something you're gonna blah, 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 right? So, we are not robots. We want to be authentic, right? And yet you do have to sometimes learn like word by word by word by word in order for you to easily say it. Because once it becomes second nature to you, now you can tweak it any which way, right? So if you look at this here, you're gonna see that here's a thing how, like, okay, so they're saying, how do you learn a script, right? There's a 6-step memorization process. Now, this could be anything. This could be a share my app script. This could be a care call script. It could be the Ford script, which is just asking about friends, application, right? Anyway, so you read the script, right? And then it's telling you, in order for you to memorize something, you always want to just do it line by line. So it's saying, read the script out loud 2 times. And you want to do it out loud, because then you're engaging your eyes, your voice, your entire body, right? You're going to keep repeating the same sentence, and then you're going to, do it with a smile. And then you're going to add the second line, right? And you're going to keep saying the script and keep adding it 1 sentence at a time. And then, then you're gonna then the last piece is really, this should say chant, okay? What's chanting, guys?
That you already memorized and you're chanting.
Chanting is saying something fast. Okay.
Yeah, because you already memorized.
Right? You keep saying it so that you can keep saying it without stumbling. So that's the the last part, okay? So I want to tack on one more thing here. So I'd like you to think about this. Let me go ahead and stop this share here. So in today's world, you may not, you're going to be calling people as well, of course, but I think that a lot of our scripting and speaking to clients nowadays happens over either Zoom, right? If you're doing your meetings with them, your appointments with your clients, and it happens over your videos or even text messages, or yes, it is in the Facebook group, Tanisha. So it's also on the wall, the latest thing I posted, by the way. So yeah, so this, I want you guys to think about. So it requires a little bit of thinking time ahead, but if you come up with something that is your intro every time you talk to a client or you do a video, maybe you have 2 separate things, then it's gonna start coming naturally to you. Like literally by the 3rd time you do it, you're gonna be like, oh yeah. Because what I see happening is people go live, right? Or they do videos about real estate and whatever, and they neglect to have a powerful beginning, right? And then they also, at the end, they just say, okay, bye, instead of being like, by the way, don't forget to think of me if you're buying or selling, or you have friends moving to the Los Angeles area, right? Like there has to be something, or follow me on blah, blah, blah sites and read my blog here. And if you want more information, like you've got to have a call to action. Okay, so take out a piece of paper right now. I'm gonna give you something you can write down, but you can modify this, right? So your beginning of any video that you do should be something that says your name, right? Obviously. So, hi, it's Sonia with Keller Williams. That would be your first line, right? I sell real estate here in, you put whatever you want there. You can put a blank as you're writing it down. So you can change that to, you know, if you're doing a video for an audience in, you know, Carson that day, and then another day you do it in Manhattan Beach or whatever. But the bones of it are gonna stay the same. Hey, it's Sonia with Keller Williams. I sell real estate here in the beautiful South Bay. And today I wanna answer your questions about blah, 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 whatever your script is about, okay? So remember that the videos, people will watch the video if it's something of value to them, or they just are curious, right? So the beginning is very important. So that is a script that I would start with if you're gonna have something to say. For instance, even if you're going around and you're gonna, let's say you're gonna talk about mortgage rates, okay? So a lot of it is gonna be kind of like smoke and mirrors, in the sense that you're gonna say things like, you know, I wanna answer your questions about mortgage rates. So this makes it seem like someone has been asking you a lot of questions about this, and you're coming from contribution, and now people want to know like what other people are asking as well. So instead of saying, today I'm going to tell you about mortgage rates, that's when people go click, I don't want to hear that, right? So you got to come from value proposition, like you're bringing value of something that people want to know. So we talked about this, I think, on the first call on Monday a little bit, where, you know, you can go to Google and you can search the most searched terms of whatever. So for instance, let me show you this. Okay, so I'm gonna go and open up a browser. Sorry guys, taking a second here. What's going on? There we go. Too many things open. I'm just gonna go to google.com real quick. Okay, so you type into the Google search bar. South Bay real estate. South Bay real estate. Okay, South Bay real estate news, market trends. South Bay real estate board, South Bay real estate trends. So you can see what it starts to do here with all of this. You could also, so you start typing something and take a look at what people are searching for, right? So obviously it looks like these are the popular searches here. But maybe you want to search something like things to do in maybe you do Los Angeles curfew. Okay, obviously a hot topic. Los Angeles real estate market, Los Angeles coronavirus, mortgage rates today, mortgage repayment calculator. So my point is, go in there and put in something that has to do with whatever you're doing, right? And real estate, preferably a little bit of real estate, right? Like celebrity home, celebrity homes near me, celebrity homes for sale, okay? And once you come up with one of those popular titles that you think you might have something to talk about, you're gonna wanna pull that info up, and this is the title of your video, okay? So basically, today I wanna answer your questions about celebrities who are selling their homes or whatever, right? So the reason we look for these titles is because not only is that something that people are currently interested in, right? But they will also Google it when they keep Googling it, they will inevitably stumble upon your video if that is what you named it. So if you're looking for content, you want to try to stick with something that's in the news, right? Because people tend to click on things that have something to do with them. If they're not looking at real estate right now and that's all you're talking about, they're probably not going to watch a video from you. Okay, so what you want to do is you want to have that intro script written out, and that's not, you don't have to do that particular one. Just customize it to something that you like, right? That says who you are and you know what you do, so that you're trying to just subtly remind them what you're doing, right? And then you want to insert your script in between, or your topic, whatever you're talking about. Oh my gosh, okay, so here are the current celebrity homes in our area. This is what normally happens when people start Googling celebrity homes, blah, 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 whatever it is that you're talking about, okay? And then at the end, there's a call to action. So at the end, I would say something like, you know, I'm here to help you. And if you have any needs in these areas or any questions about this, you know, particular topic, please let me know. If there's anything specific you want to hear about next, please let me know, right? Something where you're asking them, and if you want more information like this, please follow me at blah, blah, blah on Twitter, and this and that on Instagram, and this and that on Facebook, or you can go to my YouTube channel and subscribe to my videos there. Or let's be friends on Facebook or whatever. So you just gotta take a little bit of thinking time to figure out what your intro and your outro is. And anytime you make a video, you just do that, right? And once you get in the habit of it, consistency is the key, right? People once you are consistent, they will start looking at you. They're like, oh, she's got another great topic to talk about today, or that was really interesting. And not everything is for everyone, right? But at least you have something consistent, right? Because at the end of the day, the purpose of scripts is to get an outcome that you want, not to just interview somebody, right? You're actually driving by using a script. It gives your system some purpose. So if you're going off of a totally, total full conversation script, for instance, a for sale by owner script, you know. So if you sold this house, where would you plan on moving to next? LA, that's fantastic. By when do you have to be there? Oh, okay, that's great. And so tell me, you know, what made you list this home on your own instead of working with a professional broker like myself? Oh, we want to save the commission. Oh, you want to save the commission. I can understand that. And so if I could show you how you can save, you know, about 12%, would that be of interest to you? Could we get together for about 15 minutes? Would that be of value to you? Great. When is better? Is Thursday at 2 or Friday at 5 better, right? So you can do that, and it doesn't matter what they say, and you can get to your end goal, which of course is the appointment, easier. But when we're just doing like social media, or we're doing Zoom videos or whatever, it really has to be like elevator pitch status, where you have a beginning, and then you have what you're trying to tell them, and you have something at the end, and your whole purpose is to just remind them that this is what you do. And you want to remind them to call you, right? So what are you guys thinking when we're talking about that? What's going through your minds?
Now, is that gonna be like related to only real estate, or you can mix it with things that your hobby or something like that, and still put like a call me or something? So that will be my question.
Yeah, absolutely. So I would say that, well, let me ask you guys this. If you're shopping for a car, do you go to Facebook to hear about it? Probably not, right?
No.
People go to Facebook for entertainment value. So think about the value that you're providing. Facebook or YouTube. YouTube people go there for entertainment value, or they want to know how to do something, right? Usually. Best things to do in LA, right? Best sites to see in LA, how to find celebrity homes in Los Angeles, you know, this kind of stuff, right? So what I find that works really well for content is if you have something that has to do with current events, and then you can somehow tie it to real estate a little bit. So, you know, I've used this example before, but so for instance, oh my gosh, did you guys see that Oprah's house is flooded, right? So you guys remember when they had the mudslides in Santa Barbara like 2 years ago or whenever it was, and it was like Oprah's house is flooded. So it's a perfect like kind of like a shock factor, almost like gossip topic where people want to see, they have to be a part of that conversation, so they want to see what you're saying about it. And then there's the real estate aspect. But I would just say, you know, you can tie it to community. So for instance, let's just use you as an example, Rosie, because, you know, you're involved in the community here a lot. Community is like the same thing as neighborhoods and housing, and that's all in one category in a way, right? So anytime you're talking about community, what the line that has worked really well for me, like even when people, I used to call for subway owners and they would say, you know, what do you know, I don't want to list with a realtor. Why are you calling me if you don't have a buyer? And I would say, well, you know, I'm your neighborhood real estate agent and I work here in the neighborhood and in the community. And so I was just wondering, you know, if you sold this house, where would you go next? And so like, it doesn't matter. You just kind of answer the question and move on, right? And so, but that thing about me working in the neighborhood, you can make that about anything, right? Because Rosie, you could literally go and talk about the Rotary Club. You could talk about dance lessons, right? You could talk about, you know, you could go interview a restaurant owner. That's all community related. I mean, you guys are all living in your own community. So whatever you're doing, it has to do with community. And that is a really great way to kind of bridge the gap. But then let's be clear also that we state who we are at the beginning and where we work, right? And that's something that we've always had in the scripts, whether it's from Ignite or from Bold, right? Like, hey, Sonia giving you a call with Keller Williams Realty. This is a business call. Is now a good time, right? Even if it's like your stuff. Like we've always been taught to say that. That's not wrong. But now we just have to tweak it a little bit where obviously people want to see it instead of just hear it. And you know, there's more aspects to this video stuff, and tomorrow we'll talk a lot more. I'll show you like break down pieces to put it together. But just in terms of live video, right? You probably want to be in front of like the first shot of the video should be something interesting, kind of. So this background here, not interesting, right? So this would go, oh, she's in her office talking. If someone they're scrolling, right? Now it's you in your office. Or if you're sending, or in a text, you know, make it interesting. Because look, I could even literally just turn around. And that's more interesting, right? It looks like I'm going to talk about designer wallpaper.
Definitely.
But you
It's beautiful. It's beautiful.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Just having a, you know, so go in front of something colorful or something that has to do with current, you know, topics and stuff like that. So those are just some of the things. So task number 1, make sure that you think something that you're going to say in the beginning and in the end. that you could say while you're like, and then insert anything in between, right? Okay.
Awesome.
And so, and then the call to action, and this was one of the things that Rosie and I hopped on a call, was it last month, Rosie, when we did the title company call? So Old Republic, title and home warranty, did a little social media call. Remember that one? And they were talking about the fact that agents don't where people can find them. Like phone number and email is one thing, but that's not like, people won't go like and write down your phone number right now just because they think you're interesting, because they're like, well, I'm not going to call her, you know, they might not have business with you. So you have to tell them where to find you. So follow me on Facebook, right? This does not mean that you have to have crazy content all the time, but you know, if you can get them to stick with you on Facebook or Instagram or wherever you are, then this means that they're in your network now, right? They're gonna keep seeing stuff from you and you're gonna be able to stay in front of them. So that was one of the things that was a big takeaway for me. And Rosie, did you have something about that as well? Like, I know you and I kind of talked about that, but that was a surprise.
So that was interesting, and obviously the constant video, so they want people to know that you exist. So that was interesting, yeah, to know.
Yeah. So, you know, if you learn about video, honestly, guys, there's a YouTube channel called YouTube Agents, and they have so many different YouTube tips on there, and one of the tips is specifically this script, right? Or not this script, but to have a script. Like you gotta have a brainstorming, you know, session with this stuff, okay? So that's how we do a script. Now, I wanna do a little exercise, okay? So does everybody have at least the beginning written down what I said? So it's like, hi, it's Sonia with Keller Williams Realty. I sell real estate here in the beautiful South Bay, or whatever, insert whatever area you want. And today I want to answer your questions about the curses in Los Angeles County, or whatever. Insert your topic. So you guys have that somewhere written down. Is there anyone on this call who is currently on this call from their phone? Are y'all on a laptop?
I'm on the phone.
You are on the phone.
Okay.
So, hi, Bianca.
Yeah, wonderful.
Hi, I was a little tardy, but yes, I'm here.
I'm so excited you're here. I love your photo. Okay, so if you're on your phone, do me a favor. So you're gonna have to hop off for a second. Do you guys all know how to get back on the Zoom? I don't want to lose anyone.
Oh no.
So the reason I ask is because on your phone, this is the best tip anyone ever gave me when I was a new agent. You have a recorder, okay? And do you guys like to hear the sound of your own voice? Usually people are like, oh, I do not like to hear my, yep, Laura, exactly. Like, oh, do I sound like that, right? So here's the deal. Here's what happens when we say scripts, right? Either, and this is what happens to me personally, if I get excited and I'm, let's say I'm calling someone and I'm like just nervous or I'm excited or whatever, and I'm reading off of something and I'm just responding to what they're saying, my pitch gets really high. So you start going like this, right? Hey, it's Sonia with Keller Williams Realty. I'm here. I sell real estate in the beautiful South Bay and blah, blah, you know, right? And like, what? Why was I talking up here? Or like if you're responding to them, this is on the phone or on video, you might be going, great, that's so exciting. You're moving to LA? How fantastic. And so how soon do you have to be there? Right? I don't talk at that level. Hello. So the only way you're gonna figure out what your weird like mannerisms are is to either record that video or record it on your phone. So in like even 5 years ago, we were not doing video. So I was doing it on the phone. But the cool thing about the recorder on your phone, and if you don't know what the recorder, I'm sure there's one on Android as well. But you can go to the search bar and just type recorder. I think it's voice memo actually on the, whoops. Voice memo, that's what it is. Voice memos. It looks like that app on iPhone. And so the cool thing about voice memos is you can literally just look, I have my FSBO script still in here. There's script practice ones that I used to practice with Lulu, right? Other people, you know, blah, blah, blah. So powerful FSBO scripts, all that stuff, listing presentation, look at it. I'm not kidding. I used to do this like religiously. So here's the deal. You guys are driving around Los Angeles, right? You can make these go into your iTunes and stream through your car stereo. So you record something of yourself saying, for instance, that script or any other script, share my app script, hey, I'm new to real estate script, any script at all. And you just do it here first and then listen to yourself and you're gonna go, oh my God, why would I say that like that, right? And then you're gonna redo it. But once you get one version that's pretty good, you just keep it in there. And to this day, guys, my YouTube, I mean, my iTunes channel, my iTunes in my car, so when I put it on shuffle, every once in a while, instead of a song, a script will come on. And I find myself driving, I'm like, oh, if you sold this house, where would you go next? And I'm like literally thinking the script out loud. And so these are so powerful for memorizing, really internalizing the scripts, because you are literally like, it's going in your head without you looking at the script, right? So take a minute right now. I want you guys to record something. Just this first piece that we just did. So if you're just joining us, I really need to have this view on a different view. Okay, so if you're just joining us, take your phone out. I know some of you are on your phone right now on this thing, but at least find your recorder app, okay? I'm gonna mute everybody. And you don't have to actually X out of your Zoom, Zarina. So just
okay.
minimize it. So I'll mute everyone. So take a second.
Where did you find the recording?
So
Where?
are you on
your
iPhone, Rosie?
Yeah, I switch, so I'm okay now.
Okay, so go in your taskbar. So if you just go to the side and you can search for voice memo, type in voice memo at the top search bar and find that app, okay? You see it?
Yes.
Okay, so it should look like a little sound wave thing, like that.
Got it.
Okay, so you're gonna wanna take that, and then all you do is you just hit this once, you don't have to hold it, and it'll start recording and you can see the little things go like that, right? Once you end it, what happens is, I don't know why it titled it by where I'm at, South Catalina Avenue, interesting. But you can, change the titles and whatnot later. But what you wanna do is just read the script that we just did, just the beginning of it, and then listen back and just listen to how you sound. Okay, that's a very simple thing. So literally take 2 minutes. I'm muting you right now, and I'm gonna do it too. So you guys have.
Yeah, I'm ready.
Good job. I love it. Okay. Mute. if you're done, unmute. You can unmute yourself. Okay, so I'm really just intending it for it to be a quick exercise. I want to hear what your ahas are. Did you listen to your little script?
That's funny.
Yeah, Tanisha, were you going to say something?
So I recorded it about 5 times trying to hear how it was going to sound each time. And I noticed I would leave out realty and Keller Williams or, so I just had to perfect it.
Same for me. I wasn't saying real. I had a pause before realty every time.
Mm-hmm.
What am I saying again? Right. And then I realized that I was saying, and today I want to answer your question. So I said it really vaguely, like I was not like accentuating my language very well. Like, I want to help you. And I would be like, I want to do this,
Right.
Which does not sound professional. So anyone else? What else?
I'm just leaving. I'm just saying Keller Williams. I'm forgetting to tell the realty. So that is my thing. It's like I always say I'm with Keller Williams, but I'm forgetting to say realty. I have to keep that in mind, that I have to say Keller Williams Realty.
Yes. And you know what, Serena? Something else. You say Keller Williams. You don't say Keller Williams. You have to say the
Keller
S.
Williams.
Keller Williams.
Right?
There's an S at the end.
Keller Williams.
That's the thing about accents,
Yeah.
It makes it so much more challenging when you speak with an accent, especially in the South Bay, which is not very where I live, it's not very diverse.
Yeah. So yeah, I mean, we all have certain things. For me, my brain goes way ahead of what I'm saying, so I leave out whole words sometimes, and that's just so everyone has their own quirks. And then on top of that, you've got accents, and then on top of that, if you don't know what you're saying in the first place or not using a script at all, you're like, what, right? You're just not going to come across as clear as you need to come across. So I think this is it. So anyone else have anything else to add?
For me, the first one, I was going too fast. So I realized I was missing some stuff, but I realized I have to slow down and be calm. And I was very excited. But I was going too fast, especially if I have an accent, which Iris indicated. Then I have to make sure that I, do the pronunciation correctly. And I was going like really, really fast. Yeah.
That it's going too fast or that high pitch happens. Those are two things as well. So when we're doing script practice, that's the whole point. And yet, unless you're recording yourself, you might not know. Anything else from anyone else?
Sonia, remember I sent you that video of mine that I recorded my voice? So I knew there was something wrong in that. Did you find anything mistakes? And I told you, if you find something, let me know.
Yeah. I mean, I think it's great that you just did the video no matter what. So the whole point is that you're going to have mistakes. The first videos are going to look so awkward probably. And we were on this social media call, Rosie and I, where this, was she Old Republic title? And then we just had warranty there as well. I forget her name.
I don't remember. I remember there were two ladies.
Yeah. So Christy Buscemi and one of her coworkers from Old Republic, but she's this beautiful woman, and she was showing us these videos of her from like some years ago, and she's like, it's so embarrassing. Like I had my door, my bedroom door in the background, and they could see my pillow. Or in this video, I was wearing a sleeveless shirt and it looks so, not professional, like so many different things. And yet, you got to start somewhere. So, but this way, if you're recording and listening to yourself, then, take note of what you don't like. It can be anything, guys. It can literally be something that you keep saying over and over again, certain mannerisms, this, is one, right? So whatever it is, sometimes we don't realize it ourselves. And sometimes it's fine if you have those mannerisms to have them, right? But you want to make sure that it's coming across the way that you're intending it to come across, right? Okay, so then even if you're doing one way,
switch to sprint and get a,
right? Even if you're going one way, meaning you're doing a Facebook Live or you're doing, a Zoom like recording of yourself, it does not mean that you should not ask questions, right? So every time we talk about scripts, we've always talked about how scripts are actually about questions. So let me go ahead and actually, I'm gonna share the other screen here. Oops. We're gonna go back to this. So anyone here ever heard selling is not telling? Right? You guys have all heard that. So selling is not telling because nobody cares if it's not about them. We have to focus on bringing the value and really asking the questions, and the way people feel like you actually care about them is when you ask the questions. So just because we move to a one-way channel does not mean that you should be just talking one way and talking and giving them your peace of mind, right? So things like engaging the audience, whoever you're talking with, even if whether it's on a Zoom call when you're doing a listing appointment or you're on your live or whatever, stopping and making sure to ask a question every so often will really, really help you keep your audience engaged. So, oops, let's keep moving here. Okay, so obviously you can practice this stuff with people. Okay, I skipped ahead here, sorry guys. So here we are. So one of the things that you can do, so let's say you're doing a live video webinar where you don't have anybody, you're not interviewing anyone, you're just gonna talk about, hey, I'm Sonia, I sell real estate in South Bay. Today I'm gonna talk to you about the LA curfew and how it's been affecting me personally, and I want to hear how it's been affecting you. So in the comments, please tell me how it's been affecting you, because I think, right? So you're going to say something about what's happening like around you, and then bring your client into it. If it's in a listing presentation, obviously you're going to want to make sure that you're asking those questions, just like in the listing scripts. So stick to the questions. Even if you're doing a live video, right, please talk to the people on the live video who are commenting or liking it. Acknowledge that they're there. You have to say things like, oh, hi, Iris, thanks for hopping on my call. How are you? Or whatever. Like, you can see everybody who hops on your live calls. All right. So in a little bit here, we're going to do another exercise. So two things that are happening now, and that's why I wanted to bring the script conversation into this, is that obviously the Zoom calls. So does everyone here know how to start a Zoom meeting? Everybody know?
Yeah.
Okay, is there anyone who doesn't know? Say aye. Okay. So if you don't know how to start a Zoom meeting, there's two different ways to do it. Well, there's more than two, but I just want to make sure that we cover our bases, right? So you're going to create an account with Zoom. I'm just going to breeze through this real quick. You can come back to this if you want to. But if you're going to have an appointment with someone, you can have your phone number be the code to your Zoom, okay? Did you guys know that? You know how it gives you a link and it's like some random number sequence? It doesn't have to be like that. So you can actually, in Zoom, set it up so that the call number is always your phone number. And you have to do that through the settings. So I just want to show you this real quick because this might be something that's easy for you. Of course, you can create an account and go and set up a meeting. So let's say you have a listing presentation coming up with somebody and you're gonna have an appointment this week on Friday. So you're gonna have your account here and then you're gonna go into your meetings, you know, and now you can see all the things that are scheduled, but you can also go to here to schedule a new meeting and you're just gonna put in the details and whatever. And at the end, it's gonna spit out a code for you that then you can email to the client and say, just click here when you wanna join this meeting. Fine, that's fine. But let's say that somebody calls you and they're like, you know, would you mind, or you're gonna go, okay, now that we're opening up, let's say you're gonna go do a tour of a home, right? And the client says, well, I have a Zoom app on my phone. I don't really like FaceTime or whatever, but I have Zoom app. So they're gonna get on their Zoom. What you can do is instead of booking a meeting, if it's right then and there and you gotta hop on, you can literally just click host a meeting up here. Can you guys all see this? You can just click host a meeting. See this? With video on, video off, or screen share only. So you can just start it with you showing. You don't even have to show your face. If you want to just show somebody a contract or something like that, you can do that too. All right. So what this does is once you go live, and I can't do it because we're obviously already live, but when you just do, okay, I want to just host a meeting with video on, it's just going to open up a Zoom that's just you until somebody else joins. Now, they need a code to join, obviously, but they can just go on their Zoom app and punch in the code. So when you host a meeting here, it's just gonna use what's called your personal meeting ID. So if I show you this, look, this is my cell phone number. You can edit this to be your cell phone number. All right, I would recommend you guys all do that. Just because then every time if you just want to do an extempore meeting and someone goes on their Zoom app, so if you look at your Zoom, well, if you're on your phone, you can't probably see it now if you're on your phone on the Zoom call. But when you're on the Zoom app on your phone, right, at the top, it gives you the options. It says start a new meeting, join, schedule, or share screen. So obviously your client would click join, and now it immediately requests the meeting ID. So you can just tell them it's my cell phone number. So go to your contacts first and copy my cell and then paste it there. Does that make sense? Any questions?
So when you are doing that, they get an invitation or they just have to go and join?
Yeah, you need it. Okay. So if you hop on, it's almost like the rooms that we were just talking about for Facebook. Only Facebook, you know, you would just click that join this room link because they already have to be on Facebook to be there. But this allows you to just, let's say I just go live, right, and I don't tell anybody that I'm going, not live, but I start a Zoom meeting, okay? It will alert me, hey, someone wants to hop on your meeting if somebody's trying to get in. So it's like, let's say I was doing a meeting just to record myself doing something, because you can do that too, and that's the next thing we're going to talk about. But, you know, so it won't automatically allow people to hop in. That's why they need the code, and then it's still going to say, hey, so-and-so wants to hop on your call. You know, is that okay? And then you have to approve them while you're on the call. But you're just going to go, you basically host a meeting. What it does is it's like you're on Zoom, you're there, you're in a place in Zoom. And now if someone wants to hop on, they just go join a meeting and they put in your phone number, if that's what that is. When you first create a Zoom account though, this is not your phone number. So it's gonna be some gibberish number. So you're never gonna remember it. Like if someone's like, what's the code, right? So you can go change this personal meeting ID. I think you can do it right here. If not, it's in the settings. No, you can do it right there. See that? Edit. Right? And then it has
I
to,
only send invitation to people, but I didn't know that you could do it when somebody also had the Zoom, and they will automatically then get a.
right?
I see. Okay, I saw that you just have to send a
Yes.
invitation to
To
them.
send
Okay, so
send
that
them
one
the
I didn't know that.
message.
Okay,
Yeah.
got it.
Cool,
Thank
right? And then see this little checkbox here. So it says use personal meeting ID for instant meetings. You want to make sure that's clicked. That means that when you go to you go to host a meeting right now with video on, then it makes sure to use this. That's the only time it's going to use it though. So when you go to book a meeting for later, like any of these, right? It's going to create a meeting ID for you here. So these ones, if you booked it ahead of time, Rosie, then you can still hop on there, and while you're on there, send the invitation out, right? You have that in, if you look at your Zoom, so let's just look at it here. So on your, if you're looking at your Zoom screen, when you click on the participants thing on the bottom, excuse me, it has an invite button kind of in the middle.
Yeah.
As a menu on the bottom, sort of. Right? So if you click that, now you can, what this does is gives you an email or whatever, or you can just copy the link and then send it over
Okay.
any which way. So sometimes I'll copy it and send it through Messenger to someone, or yeah, but it becomes difficult if someone's texting you like, hey, what's your link, right? Now you're on a computer, can't really, I mean, you have to literally get on your own Zoom call from your phone first to be able to copy and paste it to them in a text. So that's why it's really easy if you can just say, oh, it's just my phone number.
Got it.
You know, just all they have to do is open their Zoom and click join and enter that phone number, and they will hop into your meeting that you're hosting at the time.
I didn't know.
You need a pro version in order to do all these.
To do the personal meeting ID?
Yeah, or any of everything you showed. The basic Zoom has like no setups. You can do a call, but it's very challenging. Like the personal meeting ID, I cannot change.
Or you cannot change it?
Yeah, it's just a
You need to upgrade
basic
it.
I have too. You know, it doesn't go, it's just like you can talk. That's it. You cannot like do things that like, you know, sending something like while you
But
talk.
the upgrade is very inexpensive.
Yeah.
I know that, you know, thousands of people, it costs like $50. So it's nothing. And we don't need thousands of people. So it's inexpensive.
Yeah, it's $14.99 a month if you want
Yeah.
that, which means that you
Yeah,
can.
I think it's only for 40 minutes or something. It's not that, yeah, it's only 40 minutes.
Yeah, and it's also, so if you guys are considering doing any like first-time buyer seminars or anything like that, you may want to just consider having this, because even, let's say you try to stick to a 30-minute call with you know, hosting an event like that, if that can only still have 3 people on it. Okay, so let's say you want to have a lender and then yourself, right, and another person maybe, I don't know, then, you know, it's still not going to work. So yeah, but for your clients, so if you have the pro account, right, they don't need to have a pro account to be able to just type in your phone number to get into your meeting. They don't need it. So yeah. Okay, so it's pretty interesting. You might also, I know a lot of people have a family account. So like, you know, sometimes you're on Zoom and you see that, you know, instead of, for instance, I don't know, maybe nobody here does it, but you could be on someone else's like Zoom, right? Like it might say their husband's name or something instead of theirs. So they're just using the same pro account if they need it, if that makes sense. So you can, you know, you can split the cost inside the family too if you have to. Right? So, all right. So if you guys are gonna do this, so you can't obviously practice going live by yourself right now, but what we did earlier with a Zoom live, like hosting an instant meeting, if you, once we get off the call, I really, really want you guys to go in and do that same script, but on a Zoom call, right? So to yourself, you're not gonna do it with anyone else at this point. So just go in after this class at noon and go click host a meeting so that you know what happens, right? And then do the thing, and it should be auto recording for you. If it's not, you gotta go to settings first. So do you guys know if you have it recording automatically?
No, we haven't tried that. I haven't tried that.
You can do that with a free account. Free account will allow you to record, okay? So another way to film yourself saying something that you want to come across is, of course, Zoom, right? And you can even, if you have the updated Intel Core in your computer, you can do the virtual backgrounds without the green screen, right? So you could do that too and film a little thing and say that same script and then insert anything in between that you might want to insert, any content at all. All right, so just in the settings section, you want to make sure, so you can go in here to this part over here, it's on the side. You go to settings, it's going to allow you to talk about the recordings right here. So it'll take you to the recording section. Oops. A second here. Cloud recording. And then it asks you to set it, like how do you want to record it? So for instance, when I record our calls, it saves it afterwards. And now you have to tell the system, what do you want it to record? Like, do you want it to constantly record, the gallery view where everybody's there? Do you want to record only the active speaker with the shared screen? Do you want to record all of them separately, right? So if you're like you're really amazing at editing video or whatever, you could literally, I could be recording this, myself talking only, I could be recording this at the same time, and I could be recording all of you watching this at the same time in 3 different files and later piece them together better, right? So it just has a lot of capability in here, but you just want to make sure the cloud recording is on. I also have saved chat messages from the meeting here saved. So that means you can go back to those chats later. So it actually saves your Zoom meetings. There's quite a bit of free storage that comes with it. If not, you can always record all of this to the cloud, but it'll actually save it to your computer with a zip file basically that has the recording, and then it has your chat box messages so that you can go back. So for instance, if I share a document with you or whatever, right? You can go back and look at it. Or if someone shared their email and wrote it down, you could go back and look at it. Okay, you can also do, I don't know if these advanced ones are available when it's free, but there's all kinds of timestamp things. And if you want to see everybody's names, right? So it's pretty cool. So here you can say, and then automatic recording. So mine is set to the cloud because I'm done with the actual physical. I don't want them to go on my computer. They're really large files. So what happens is they slow down your computer memory a lot. You might want to set this to record to the cloud. This means that you can at all times go find your recordings in here, and then you can go and download the ones that you want, right? So you don't have to have all of them. Does that help? Just some of the basic stuff like that is something we think about all the time now, is this kind of setting. So these take a little bit to set up, but once you have it set up, and you're gonna feel a lot better doing these appointments with people, if right? So here you can see these are all the recordings on the cloud, that I've hosted. And now I can go back and select the ones I want, you know, and share it or download it or whatever. And it tells me the size. So now otherwise I would have all of this, right? I have 28 pages or 28 of them currently saved in here on the cloud, right? And then you can also go through and delete the ones you don't want or anything like that. Cool. So make sure you try that feature out and see what happens when the video finishes, because it's when you host it at the end, it's going to give you a little box that says the recording is, you know, being configured for you. You know, it's converting it for you. And then you want to make sure you find where it goes, right? If it's going to your computer or if it's going on the internet. And then watch yourself so that you can see, okay? Questions at this point, guys? Tell me something that you have an AHA. AHA stand for Agents Helping Agents.
Well, I didn't know that I could invite someone. I am in an open house and I tell my client, you know, so I did like that feature, but if it will be a promo, then obviously if I use it more, then will be a great feature rather than to FaceTime or something else. So I did like that.
Yeah, and think about the recording feature of that too. So let's say, Rosie, you're at an open house or you're there and then you're on a phone and you're just like, okay, I'm here. Or even at inspections, right? Let's say you show up to the inspections to just let the inspector in and now your client's at home or whatever and the inspector immediately says something like, there's water in a crawl space or whatever, right? And now you're calling the client like, it's looking like there's water in a crawl space and not sure, like, or maybe they're just checking in with you. And then they say, well, can you show me, right? You may want to do Zoom because it's going to record it so they can view it again later. It doesn't just have to be that time for them, right? So then you can send them, okay, here's the recording of what we talked about and what I showed you. So you have it for later. Same thing with open houses. If you're doing a virtual tour, it'll save that tour for you. And now you can, you know, and you can do that on your own, guys. If you can use that or you can use your regular video recorder, obviously. But if you just, somebody wants to hop on there and you want to have a conversation and just have that file for later, you can do that, right? So I love that. There's just so many ways to utilize that. Any other ahas from today so far?
Sonia.
Yeah.
Hi, this is Patricia. I love that you can use your phone number as an ID.
Yeah.
Because it's so easy for some people just can't find the link and you just know your phone number. So you just, and you know, it could be a password like 2020 or whatever number. So that's great. Yeah.
It's really convenient that it's that
so
same.
Convenient. I didn't know that. So I learned something today. Thank you.
It's good, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so how to do a Zoom by yourself. You literally just click and do a host meeting with video on, and you can practice doing your entire listing presentation or by your consult. And then you say, okay, thank you so much. I'll talk to you soon. I'll be sending these contracts your way or whatever. Click, you end the recording, and now it recorded it for you. And now you can watch yourself again, right? You really, really want to do that, guys. Like you just did a tiny bit, right? And you're already hearing what's happening now in terms of what you're saying, in terms of your scripts. Now combine that with trying to open the right windows. How many things do you have open? And then once you can't always pay attention to what that looks like to everybody else when you're the one doing it, right? So you might want to just do it, run through the whole thing, like show them comps, show them how you market yourself, show them the contracts that you're going to be sending over, and then, get their information, so to speak, like role play by yourself to your Zoom, and then just hit end, right? And now you have it. And when you get to watch it back, now you're not fidgeting with trying to open different windows and share different screens. So you can actually get the idea of what the client would have seen, right? Does that sound scary to you guys?
Kind of.
improving on ourselves.
Yeah, it's good.
Yeah.
Sonia, can we send if they're looking for the value of the house, or you just send me the value of the home? So can you like compile together and show it on the Zoom, like what what you're sending them,
Like the comps, a CMA?
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's the system that you want to make sure that you have in place, right? So how does that look? So for instance, let me just go ahead and share my screen here. So take a look at this, right? Can y'all see like all my tabs as well up here?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay. Right. So your client can see all this. So when you're getting ready to hop on a Zoom call with a client to show them stuff, you may want to only have the specific things that you need open, right? Because also when you're on a Zoom call, you'll notice that your computer is a lot slower, right? So we can take away these extra pages and whatnot. So only have the tabs open that you need. Now, you want to have them open, if you can, in the same browser place, okay? Because what happens is if you switch between apps, so you guys, when you go to hit share screen, the system asks you, which screen do you want to share, right? So I have my internet open, and then I have the PowerPoint open that I was showing you for Ignite Sparks, right? So if I go from here, I said, I want to share this screen, but now I go to sharing my internet or my PowerPoint, you don't see anything, right?
No.
No.
So now you can't see anything. So if they're not in the same place, like if they're not open online, you have to first stop the share and then go back into share screen and select the other window that you wanted to show them. Okay, does that make sense? So now you can see this, right? Because look, this is open in preview and it wasn't open in my Chrome. If you're just within Chrome, you can switch between the different tabs. All right, so if they're all open on the internet browser like this, I can switch to here and you can still see it, right? I can switch to my calendar, you can see it. I can switch all of this stuff up as long as they're open in the same place. But if they're not, now we have an issue. You're like, oh, why can't they see it? And you might not even realize that they're not seeing it. And they're gonna say, I can't see anything what you're doing. So let's just say, how does that look in real life, right? So you need, when you go into a listing presentation, what are the things that you need?
The comps, the value, and what you're going to do to sell their home.
Contracts.
And the contract.
But you need the listing presentation and then the comps and then
Right.
the contract. Yeah.
Yeah.
So now if you have the listing presentation saved on your computer and you open it, it's gonna open it in whatever PowerPoint or PDF format you have it, which is not in your internet browser, right?
Right.
So you need to know how you're gonna maneuver these. So let me go ahead and just show you here. So what I would probably do if you're gonna go on appointments, right? You may wanna use your Drive folder, guys. Because everything you open will open in this, like if I open this from here, it's gonna open here where I can preview it, right? Or I can open with a PDF thing that the Drive has, the Doc Hub, basically, which opens any PDFs open for you. But see how it didn't pop it out? It's just in another window right here. It didn't open it in like the PDF on the computer. It's just opening it online. So it's staying in the same window for you. Right? So it's just taking a second to download, like I said. So you want to do these and have these open before you hop on the call so that you're not sitting here waiting, right? So now you can still see this, and now I can hop back over to the same folder and share a different thing, right? So let's just say, and you can test this out, but this is how you would want to do it. So start saving your appointment, like your needs, but per client, for instance, on the Drive. Okay, is there anyone here who does not know how to at all use Drive? It's fine if you don't.
I don't know how to do that.
Okay, so in your email, any Gmail, but preferably I would say use your KW email, right? You
Yeah.
have Google, we're partnered with Google. Keller Williams is partnered with Google. And so you have a whole Google suite in here. And so you pop into your email, right? Up here in the top, there's a box. And this has all of your different Google apps in it. See the little thing? Okay, they're gonna be in different order for you, and you can drag them around to put them in different orders. At first, it just kind of takes the ones that you're using the most and puts them here for you, but you can also order them yourselves, okay? So now you're gonna have your mail, which is where you are already. Your Drive is right here. It's just like Dropbox. It's just like a file storing system where you can store as many files. I mean, seriously, the storage is huge that you get with it. It's free. It comes with your Google email. So you're just gonna click on that and it opens up another window for you called My Drive, okay? You can see that, you can sort this all out by different folders. So in the button at the top where it says new, you can make a new folder yourself. You can upload a file, you can upload an entire folder of stuff at once. And then there's all the other Google suite, like processing, basically Google, what do you call that? The Google, God, it's escaping me. What was it called before? Office.
You mean Word or?
Word processor? Word processing, Word?
No, Iris, what did you say?
Word?
Yeah. I mean, Word. Yeah. But it used to be called the Google Suite or something like that, like where you bought the whole thing, Office or something like that.
Yeah, Google Plus. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so you would get the whole thing with the Excel sheets, the PowerPoint, and then Word, right? You have those through here. You do not need to pay for them if you're paying for them currently. Okay, so you already have them. So now you can do anything here. You can start new documents here, but you can also, I mostly use it to store items, right? So now let's just say, I'm just gonna go into the test folder that I have in here for you. So, and then you can share this. So you all know that I've shared this folder with you. So now you have all of these different things. So let's say you have a folder for different, you create a folder, for instance, and you say, okay, this is where I'm gonna put all my documents for buyers, right? And then now you have a buyers folder, and it's gonna pop up right here. And then you're gonna open up the buyers folder, and now you can make a new folder for every buyer you have if you wanted to store some files for them, for the appointments, right? So now I'll make another folder saying, okay, I don't wanna upload anything yet. What I wanna do is just create another folder inside the folder saying, this is for John Smith, okay? And now inside of John Smith, now I can put his CMA, right? Whatever format that's in. So if you've taken and done a CMA with Cloud CMA or wherever, you can pull it into this file here. And then you're gonna wanna have his contracts, and then you're gonna wanna have your listing presentation, right? So now when you go, and I'm just gonna back out of here for the sake of being easy, so I don't have to upload all those things in here. So I already have these folders here that say my buyer or my listing. So these were your samples, right? So let's say you're going into a listing presentation. Now you have all the documents you need for the listing presentation here. So you can just go ahead and open up one of these. So I could open up, for instance, this generic sample listing presentation, and it's gonna wanna know do you want to just keep it like this? No, this is preview. So I'm going to actually view it with Google Slides so I can show my client it. All right, so while that's opening, I'm going to go back into the program here. And then I'm also going to open up, sorry guys, just taking a second here. I probably have to wait for this to open here. So this is why you don't want to do it live, right? You want to have it done. You want to have it open before you hop in the thing, right? So I have that open. So maybe I also want to have, this isn't included in my listing presentation. So maybe I want to have this open. A home selling process, right? So you see how if this takes time, you're going to lose your client. You lose their focus, right? So you want to make sure you have these open before you get on that call. Okay, and now I'm going to go back in, and I'm also going to maybe open up the contracts that I saved in here. Right? I might have anything else you want to show them, anything at all. But CMA, listing presentation, contracts. That's what you would want to have open. And then everything else you can take care of afterwards. I mean, technically you don't really even need to have the contracts open, but if you just want to show them like what it is so you can actually explain it to them, you might want to have those open. So now I have all these tabs, right? This is too much. So what I would want to do is just close everything else out except what you're going to need on your call, right? So I'm going to close out all these other things, and now it's going to become a lot easier to toggle through all this stuff, right? So you may want to leave your Google thing up, but now I can say, okay, so I can, first of all, I can put this in presentation mode for them, right? And go through it like this. And then when I'm done going through the presentation mode, I can go over to, and by the way, here's the home selling process, so you can kind of go over it with them here. Is this clear? You're gonna ask them some questions. Maybe this is something you start with, right? And then you can have your full listing presentation where you can go into presentation mode and just kind of go through the whole thing. Market stats can go after this if you want. You can actually put them into one document, so you don't have to have two separate things for CMA and your listing presentation. But even if you have them separate, that's fine. So, okay, so when we sign the contract here today, Mr. Seller, the first thing we're going to do is we're going to look at what we need to do about staging. And this might not mean that we're going to actually stage the house. Maybe you don't want to spend that kind of money, but before we get the photos in there, we certainly want to make sure that we've decluttered the place, right? So if I go back to my office here today and call the photographer to see, when they can get here, how soon can you have it ready for photos? And that's a soft close already, right? So if they say, well, I can have it it's Thursday, so I can have it decluttered by Monday because I'll have the weekend to work on it, right? You already have them closed, right? So they're ready to go. You're done. Don't go on to the next stuff, right? Okay, so then we're gonna go to professional photos. Some other things I do, of course, I'm gonna do property flyers and postcard, and we have a lot of internet marketing, and we're gonna have a website. Obviously, I market your properties on my website, and then we can do an individual property website and blah, 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 right? If it's a luxury listing, we do have the availability to translate your listing into 19 different languages and 55 different currencies with the program I use. That may not be something you choose to do or that you feel like you need, right? And you can even say that there's an extra cost for this. And then you can talk about, pricing, whatever you need to show them, right? Your home is not worth what you paid or what your neighbor says or what you need or what another agent says, right? It's actually just based off the market. So these are all really good conversations, and now you can kind of go ahead and have those conversations with the visual aid, right? Because this is for instance, look at this graph, right? If you're gonna have a conversation and you're going online to an appointment with a client and you're just talking about the price, you're going to end up explaining yourself, like just telling them, well, this is how the market works and da 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 da. But when you have this, it's so much more powerful, which is why the Zoom appointment is way better than just doing a phone appointment, right? It's still going to be face to face. And now you can actually go, you know, if you start here and the market's actually worth this, then, you know, what happens is, you know, we can wait it out, right? You can try that price that you wanted. And then a few weeks later, if we've got nothing, we can come down. But look, what happens if the market already changed? And so now it's again worth less, right? Which is exactly the market we're in, or could be in some areas. And then, you know, you're never going to end up getting the price where if you had started with me at the right price in the first place, we would have actually gotten this home sold right away before the prices dropped, and you would have ended up making more money versus now you're going to have to come down to some crazy amount all of a sudden, right? So you can go through and with these visual aids and show them all this other stuff. Cool. Right? And then you can toggle back and forth without them falling off of your screen if they're all open in the same window. So does everyone know how to share your screen on Zoom?
Yeah.
Familiar? Is there anybody who
Yes.
doesn't know how to do it, or what happens when they hit share the screen button? So, oops. I can't see everybody.
I have to try and see how it works with my friend. Is that okay?
Totally. You want to do that. In fact, it's going to be your homework because I really, really want you guys to try this on someone, right? And so when you are on Zoom, at the bottom, there's a green share screen button. And when you click that, there's different options that pop up. There's a whiteboard option, so you can literally draw on it. There's also an iPad AirPlay option, so you can show things on your iPad if you're Bluetooth connected. You could show things on your iPhone if it's connected with a cable to your computer. And then it has the different applications that you have open at the moment. So you're gonna wanna make sure that you click the right one, or otherwise you have to stop share and come back. It's not a big deal if you do, right? You just stop share and then come back, but you can't go between different programs with screen share. Okay, this is because the system is built so that it doesn't expose all of your information that you don't wanna show necessarily, right?
Sure.
Any questions or ahas with that whole section?
Well, I have done virtual with my Rotary meetings, so I did, but I didn't know exactly how to go back to 2 or 3. So I think that was great to have the Google Drive to use.
Right?
Yeah, that's great.
It's a little.
You want to have a smooth, a smooth conversation with them. So thank you. That was good.
Yeah, it's difficult to keep people's attention if you're having to be like, hold on a second, right? I mean, you feel the energy change, even in our team meetings, right? Like yesterday. So when something isn't working, everybody's like, oh, okay, hold on. So you're just kind of on standby. And now you've lost the momentum that you just created with someone who just said that they're ready to go, right? So we want to make sure that that's all there. The other thing, okay, so check one more thing out. I showed this to some other people another time, so you might have seen this. But if you didn't, I got feedback that they didn't know you could do that. So let's say you open up all these things here, okay? Now, my first thing that I have open after my drive is actually the process here, and then I have this listing presentation, and then I might have the contracts, which at the moment is this other Ignite, you know? But let's say you don't wanna start, let's say you open this thing up in different order like this, and you're like, but I really wanna start with the home selling process, okay? You just grab the tab and move it and put them in order so that you know you can go, okay, I'm gonna do this first, then I'm gonna do this one first, then I'm gonna do this one, right? Now you don't have to go, oh, wait, where is it? Oh, hold on, let me see, right? You just put them in order. You just grab it and move it to where you want it to go, any which one of them. And now you have them up and open, you know, before you get on to that call. right? So it's easier. You don't have to remember so much. Just go in order so it's set up for you. Especially if you have more, that's only 3, right? But if you have more than that open, it gets really complicated to know where everything is.
So Sonia, so the 12 steps of selling your home, that is the first thing that you tell them. This is how we sell the home. This is the process of the 12 steps.
Well, it depends. So usually the conversation, honestly, is the price conversation usually happens first. Think about it. It's the same if you go to their house to look at the house, right? Then you're going to basically go, you know, you end up at the kitchen table, right? And they always want to know what you're thinking for price right away. So the comps naturally end up being the conversation normally, but you do want to make sure that you bring up that process of the house selling. Like I said before, I've definitely won listings before because they said you're the only one that told us the whole process. So just kind of, if it seems like you're just like, you just want them to sign a contract, they might not be like, tell them what's going to happen, right? So you want to have that in there somewhere. And that's just that selling process is in that folder for you guys that I've shared with you. So you can grab that. Ideally, you'd want to have as much of that stuff in the listing presentation, like inside of it. So you've customized the PowerPoint, so you've added those things in there. And that was the old listing presentation. There's a newer one in there too. And in Command, there's so much stuff. So it's just really important to have all of it, you know, make it as concise as possible so that you don't have all these other, one flyer here, one flyer there, this, that. Make sense?
Yeah, and then when do you put the comps? When do you start putting the comps, like in the starting or the end?
So the pricing, usually this is the way it goes. And you guys can tell me, I'm not saying it's always like this, but usually they want to know the comps right away. So that's your pricing conversation is number 1, and you go over the comps with them. So let's look at this together, and here's what's sold. And in conclusion, I think that we should price it at $550,000. What do you think? Okay, great. That sounds great to us. Boom, you're done. You go sign. Okay, here's the contract I'm going to be sending you. When are you ready to go? That's it. If they say they agree with you on the price, you do not do anything else.
Okay, right there.
You ask them to sign the contract, right? That's it. If though you go through the comps and now you said, I think it's worth 550, and they're going, we were hoping a little higher, right? Do you think we could start, blah, blah, blah. So then you can hop into a section, the pricing conversation section in your listing presentation, where you can show them those graphs of how we want to price it correctly.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
But however, for me, most of the time when I'm done doing the comps, I normally am like, okay, so are we good to go with this? Or, you know, okay, I think we should price it at 550. And so if they say something like, all right, yeah, it's probably about where we, you know, we could be okay with that. And okay, great. So what I'm gonna do is when we're gonna sign the contract, and then when I leave here, I'm gonna go back to my office and call the photographer and see how quickly they can be here. So when is a good time for them to come and take the photos? You know, we need better. And so you assume the close. So then that's when they normally go, whoa, I don't, you know, we don't even know what you're gonna do for us yet, or what are the fees, or blah, blah, blah. That's right. When the presentation comes into play. Okay, so the listing presentation is really, it is not you talking at them. It's just a tool to help you answer their questions. If they don't have questions, you do not pull out the listing presentation and start telling them everything you know about real estate, right? Because selling is not telling. We need to be asking them the questions and keeping on closing them, right? So that then you can get to that final place of signing the contract. You don't have to go through all these things if there is no reason to go through them. Does that make sense? So it's CMA and the pricing conversation first, normally. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Then close. say, okay, great. So let's sign the contract so that I can go book the photographer. That's it. That's all you need to say, right?
If they agree on the price.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If they agree or they're even remotely close. Otherwise, this conversation is going to go on, right, about the price, and then then you might have to show them some stats and whatnot more. But
Okay.
also be in your CMA. So if you're using Cloud CMA for your comps, Cloud CMA also pulls that market graph thing.
The triangle.
It pulls some of the pricing conversations, so you don't necessarily have to hop over to the thing. You can just kind of show them what the market's been doing in there. Or you might want to have, like what Simon was showing yesterday on the sales call, Altos reports, or those RPR reports that he was pulling, the graphs and stuff. So you also have those there. So really, it's a lot of moving parts, and you never know what somebody is going to ask you, but you got to have the process down, right? And just keep moving them towards that signed contract. So if they agree with you, right? So it's CMA and the pricing conversation. Then usually the question becomes, well, who are you? What is Keller Williams? What have you done? How do you sell real estate? Oh, okay, let me show you. Right? So here's what we do. We're going to do this marketing, that marketing. The question nowadays is how you're going to market this property, right? That's usually the question, because that's what people think real estate is, when in fact, it is marketing, but it's mostly pricing correctly, because it's always the price. So if you price it correctly, it's going to sell, right? So pricing conversation, CMA, then it's your support backbone, which is your listing presentation. So you want to have a generic one made that is just not really customized to anyone, that just generic, like you saw mine, and take away all the excess and have it just be something that you know how to explain, that has those tools that you might need, right? And then it's the contracts. And by me showing the contracts, you do not want to go over the entire freaking contract. You just want to, that's too much. Don't do that.
Oh, no.
You might want to have it open and say, okay, so here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to fill this out for you appropriately. So I'm going to need some information. You're not filling the contract in front of them. You need to be writing their information down, right? So what's your email? Are you both going to be on the loan? Whose name goes on here? What's your current address? Blah, 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 blah. And then you tell them the process. So it's going to look like this, and you can open it on your phone, or on, the email on your phone, or on your computer, and it'll just have you click through, and just ask them, are you familiar with DocuSign? Have you ever signed anything online? You don't need to sign with your finger or anything. You're just going to click sign, sign, sign. And it's very simple. And as soon as you're done, the system's going to alert me. And the second I receive it back, what I'll do is I'm going to go ahead and call the photographer, and we'll keep in touch about when we can get them in here, right? So that's that. That's awesome.
Yeah. But how long should be the listing presentation when you're showing on the Zoom? Like how long? How many pages?
Oh, you see, that's the thing. Like, you just want to have it be, the comps is the most important thing. And it depend on how many comps there are. So with CMAs, 5 to 10 comps is good, right? And then, and that's all in that folder for you guys as well. There's a whole video on how to do a CMA and what you need for the CMA, okay? That I've recorded is instructions step by step for the 10 things you need for the CMA. And then after that, the listing presentation itself, just make sure that you have only pages in there that you know how to explain, right? So only pick that you know how. If there's a page or a graph in there and you do not know how to explain it, don't put it in there, right? There's no reason for it. So you don't want, it's not about how long it is really, Zarina, right? Like, it's more about how you're gonna, what do you need to support you? What if they say, who are you? What do you have, right? What if they say, how are you going to market me? Then what, right? You have to have that. Well, who is Keller Williams? I've never heard of them before. No one ever says that, by the way. Where do you live? But yeah, if that's it basically, right? And so it's just up to your discretion. But my point is that you don't want to go through the whole listing presentation if they don't have any questions about it, right? If they never say a word about, for instance, marketing, do not go through the marketing thing with them. Don't do it. You're going to open up some other can of worms on accident when you do that, okay? When people have objections, you isolate that one, you just answer that and don't open up any other objections, right? So if you keep talking, the likelihood of you saying something that they don't agree with is huge. Let's say they're interviewing other agents and now they already like you and they didn't ask you what you're gonna do to market them. And now you start telling them how you're gonna market them, but guess what? You don't have anything about having a drone in there. And the agent they just interviewed has a drone. So now they're gonna be like, oh, so you're not gonna do a drone video? So now you just talked yourself out of the deal, right? So just be careful.
Yeah.
You stay focused to getting them to sign the contract, and you have to learn to listen for the yeses that are the silent yeses, right? If they're like, yeah, okay, well, that sounds really good to us. That's better than the last person, they weren't, blah, 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 whatever. Like they, that sounds really like a great plan to us. Okay, great. So let's go ahead and sign the contract so I can go book the photographer. So if I call the photographer today, when are you going to be ready? I just move on right away, assume the close, keep going, right? And now they're just like, oh, okay, hold on. They're already thinking about cleaning their house versus, oh, no, I'm not ready yet. Make sense?
Yeah.
Questions? Any questions or ahas?
I just wanted to mention that depend on the seller, their personality. I have been in interviews where the person says, Rosie, I just want the bottom line, tell me what it is. And in 20 minutes, they were ready. There are some other people that ask me questions and questions and questions. So we have to look at their personality when you pre-qualify them before you go to the appointment, so you have an idea what exactly they're going to ask you. Okay. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, if you're doing a good job with pre-qualifying, thank you for that. I think you have a better idea of what things they're going to ask for, right? If you're an engineer, you better have 45 pages for a listing presentation.
Yes.
And 2 hours on the side. Probably. But if they're, so yes, the disc profiles, right, is what Rosie is actually talking about. So let's say you hop on a call with someone and they're just like, yeah, so just tell me what you're going to do, right? Great, they're a high D. You better be giving them the bullet points and moving right along and not talking much. They want the bullet points, that's it. If they are more about, how are you? Are you doing okay? Yeah, I'm here with family and I've been doing this and this and it's been a really rough week and, and they're talking about everything. You let them talk.
The chatties.
They're either high I or something else, right? Like a mix. So you gotta let them talk. And by the way, guys, if your client is talking on the Zoom, do not interrupt them. You just let them talk. Just let them talk. So when the person who talks the most normally loses. If you let them do the talking, they're talking themselves into a deal with you. Just do not interrupt. Yeah. You just let them talk. And so, but if they're not, and they're just expecting, they're throwing the ball back and they go, well, what now? And now you have to explain. So that, yes, of course you need to answer their questions and do the whole thing. But yeah, don't interrupt them. I don't care what they're talking about. Don't try to pull them back on track in a way of, interrupting them. So you just let them do their thing. Yeah, but keep it shorter is better. Always, right? All right, so what else? Anything else? That's a good point. The disc profiles, if you haven't read about those, definitely be weary of the different personality types. And there's so much, guys. You know, I was thinking the other day about something that Diana Kokoska taught me a couple of years ago, and it was about where your eyes go and what that means. So let's say I ask you a question and I can see you on Zoom, right? And you go, to think about the answer. Like there's certain things that you can tell from that. I have a graph for that. I'll upload it to the Facebook group. But it's really interesting that, and it's from science. It's like a psychological thing, what that people do, right? So there's different like body clues that you can feel. And then of course the mirroring and matching, right? So matching your tonality. So if they're like, da, 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 you gotta be like, da, 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 just excited, right? If they're like this, yeah, okay, cool, right? You should probably be mirroring them the same way. Or if they're like over here and they're just not comfortable, don't be in their face like this, right? Because that'll be really awkward. People list their houses and work with people that they feel comfortable around. Nobody wants to be uncomfortable. So you've really got to figure out that, you know, that's how you win a listing, if you can match them. And pace, speed of speech is very important. So like you were saying earlier, Rosie, if you're going too fast on your scripts and the person is like, wait, what? You just lost them, right? So, okay, awesome, guys. So script. So what I'd like to do is, as the last piece for today, I want to make sure that everybody here knows how to go live. Okay, is there anyone who's never gone live on any social media here? You've all gone live? You haven't, Rosie?
Oh, yeah.
No.
Many
Yes.
times.
I show you video, but
Every
I haven't
day.
done it. Yeah.
Not me.
Yes.
Perfect. Okay, so great. So this is very exciting. So this is one of the reasons I created the group, okay, because it's a closed group, so only you guys are in it, and you can go live. No one is going to see anything other than you all, and then I'm going to go delete the lives after the class. But I just want to show you what happens when you go live, okay? So pull out your Facebook, and you're going to want to find the group, right? And act like you're going to post on the wall in the group. So virtual business building network, right? And then so when you scroll down and you see the wall, you're going to see it just like you were going to go comment on it. Do you guys see the like button or no? Tell me.
Hold on. So
Yeah, you should see it. Is everybody here in the group?
No, I wasn't accepted. I just had myself, yeah. So
Patricia,
it's pending, yeah.
did you just request it? Is that what you
Yes,
said?
I just did, yeah.
Okay, hold on.
We're pending.
Hmm.
You go to watch party?
Nope.
The virtual business building network.
Yeah. Just give me 1 sec. Let me admit her real quick. Why am I not seeing
I don't see like button there.
Okay, hold on 1 sec. Sorry. It's because I have so many. I'm not seeing it. Oh, here it is. Oh wait, no, that's Rosie liking something. Did you hit join, Patricia? Request join. Why am I not seeing it? I'm not seeing your request. You're in Virtual Business Building Network, right, Patricia?
It's just pending.
This is pending.
Yeah, I just mute myself because my husband is in a conference call and he screams when he's on the phone. but yeah, it's pending.
Oh, here we go. Got it.
Okay.
Okay, you're on as well. Okay, so if you go, and now that you're approved, okay, so Zarina, you said you don't see something. So you go to the page on your phone,
Uh-huh.
and then right where you see the top line there, and then you see some members or something, right? Where you would,
Yeah, yeah.
do you see where you,
Oh, okay. Okay, got it.
just like you would write something on that page, okay? So don't go any further yet, but just hit the live button first on your phone and see what it does.
Okay.
So if you hit live, so on the computer, I don't think it has a live functionality.
It doesn't have on the computer.
You have to have it on the phone. Okay?
Oh,
So,
okay.
so when you do your phone, first of all, tell me what you see on your phone.
It's allow
Oh,
access.
everything.
It says allow access.
Allow.
Yeah, you
Huh?
have to allow your phone access to your camera. So yes, allow. If you get a notification, you need to hit allow. Okay, so that means that it's just asking, can Facebook access?
Yeah, right. Mm-hmm.
Okay, allow, now what? This is not live yet. This is set up still. So
Okay.
I want to run through this is because a lot of people think when you go live, the second you hit that live button, you're live. So
Yeah.
let's say I'm with, let's say I'm at a concert and I want to go live right when the song starts. You can't do it like live right then and there. You got to get in there first and do a setup. Okay. So that's why I want you guys to do this. Okay. So if you're there now, do you guys all see a button that says start live video? A green button, I mean a blue button.
Yes.
I blue button, blue bar that has something looks like a video. Is that the one you are talking about? I think so. Yeah, I see that. Yeah.
So Ranha, did you go to the group and hit live?
Yes. You see my screen?
No.
No. Oh, you. Oh, okay. Let me turn on this. Okay.
Yeah.
Now you see my screen? Is it visible?
No. Kind of. Yeah.
You see that?
Yes. Yeah. You're on your iPad. Yeah.
On the side. The bar is on the side.
Yeah, so you have a button that says start live video. Yes, that's it. So now, before you hit it though, if there's a place, like if you're on your phone, right above it, it says tap here to add a title. So if you add a title, it helps people when they're scrolling, see what you're gonna talk about.
Do I have to add, click the plus button? Because I don't see that.
So is there anywhere on the screen that has a, here, let me look on my iPad.
I'm using my iPad.
So Iris is already live, good job. But you don't have a text on there. So
I have public post, then I have tab to add the description and the plus sign.
Okay, hold on.
Maybe I can click 3.
Hold on. I'm gonna look here. No, so your description is on the bottom, Radha.
Add to the add, yeah, description. Okay, I see that.
See where it says tap to that description? Okay, so now you want to do something. It doesn't have, if you don't know, like let's say you're live somewhere and you're like, okay, I'm gonna film these protests or whatever. You don't have to write the thing, right? So write something like, you know, Hermosa Beach right now, right? Or like wherever you are.
Right? Okay, maybe I can orange.
Because the video, you can choose for it to stay on your timeline later. And people don't always watch the thing if they don't know what it's about. All right. So you might want to just have something there. Now, if you choose to keep the video on your timeline after you're done recording it so people can go watch it later, then you can also always go back and edit the title later.
Okay.
But I would just say put something there, right?
Torrents there. Will that be okay, Torrents?
What?
I just put Torrents. in the description.
Yeah, you can put anything, whatever you want. Yeah. So I'm just gonna put testing live video, right?
So I'm learning right now how to do.
Yeah. Okay. And then you can also see that when you're still doing this, then you're gonna hit done once you're done typing. Don't hit start, just hit done first.
I did one.
Okay, so now you can see if it's pointing to you, right? And you want it pointing to you, great. If you don't want it pointing to you, you can just turn the camera around, right? You can film that way or this way. Now, one really important thing about live video, the video will stay the direction you started. Okay, so if you start your video filming in this way, and then in the middle, you go sideways, it will not go sideways for everyone else. Everyone else is still watching you like this, but instead you're like this. Okay? But if you haven't started the video yet, so you can see here, so it's just upright like this, but if you go sideways, then that's what happens. As long as you see the text switching to you the same way, then that's okay too. Okay? As a general rule of thumb, you would always want to do videos sideways, guys.
Oh,
Anybody know why?
so that you look straight?
No, it's because if it's not sideways, it's gonna show, and I'll show you right here what.
Oh, you have those two lines, right?
You have the side being filled in.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Okay, so it's not showing people a very good image because it's having to be very small and fill in the sides, right? So I don't know, Iris, if you saved your video there, but I can probably pull it up here because you were doing it upwards.
Yeah, I did mine like that too, so.
Yeah, so unless,
Here?
yeah. So let me show you what it looks like here. So. So this is what it looks like right now. When Rosie did her video, right? So just give it a second. You see this? It has blank on the sides. Instead of the whole video being big and beautiful, right? So it's difficult to see. You
So
see
I'm
that?
learning right now how to do a
So
live
you're good here,
video
right?
first time. Yes, practicing. I appreciate it very much. All right, so let's see how this.
There you go. So, awesome, right? So just make sure, okay, so now there's still, just make sure when you turn the camera sideways before you start filming, that it all turns with you. If it's not turning, you have it locked on the other screen, on the screen lock, right, where it doesn't turn, and now you're accidentally filming everything sideways. Does that make sense? Just make sure it turns. It's gonna change the view, right? Like, oops, I'm upside down. Right? So when you go sideways, you make sure the text turns to match you, and then you can go live. Okay, so then it's gonna look different. And then you can, even if you're filming it, right? So and then you figure out where the light is so that you're not backlit. So it's gonna go live. We're just testing the live video, and we're testing where the good light is. Obviously, that's not look too great. Versus having some light on my face, right? So we always want to make sure that we do it sideways. It's so meta. We're all on. Okay.
So when you want to change the telephone, but it doesn't change, what do you have to do?
So I think you have it on screen lock. So go to the, do you know how to pull down the tool menu from the top?
I can look. Okay.
So on the very top screen, Rosie, like wherever you are, if you just pull from the top right corner down, it's gonna give you these tools. Oops, I'm gonna call. You see this, Rosie?
Screen mirror. No, I don't know. Let me
No, no,
see.
not screen mirroring. It would be that lock thing. So it would be this red lock. You see the lock?
Yes,
Yep. So that has to be off.
off. Okay, got it.
Then
Thanks.
so that's exactly what I'm talking about. Good thing we had a live.
That's
All
good.
right.
Thanks.
So now I filmed it this way. Once you hit done and it's gotten to this screen, right? Now you can turn your camera and use it that way. It'll still post the way it was. And then now it gives you some options at the bottom. So it says, do you want to post this to the group? And do you want to upload it in high definition, HD? So you always want to click upload in HD. The only reason it asks you if you want to do it in HD is because it takes just a little bit longer, okay, to upload it. So yeah, you want to do it in HD because it's going to look so much better, not blurry. Okay, so always have both of them checked. And then the other thing is, let's say you don't like it and you're like, well, I don't want to actually post it there. So that means that only the people who were with you on the live saw it and no one can view it ever again. Then you can just do delete, okay? And if you delete, it does not save even to your computer or your phone. So you need to hit the save button if you want to save it, just in case, to your device before you do that. Make sense? And then you just hit share. And when you hit share, right, now you can actually go back, and when you find it, oops, and then it says, we'll let you know when your video is ready. So it takes Facebook a minute to upload it in there, right? And then once you've gone on there, you can find your own video again, and then you can edit the text later by just like editing the post, just like you would edit any post by clicking the three little dots.
Now, this is only for the people that you are in the group.
Yes.
Now, when I share, is that I share the group and everybody else or not?
Good question. So,
Because I don't want somebody else to see that.
question. So, let me see here real quick. Go in as myself, so I'm not the, okay. So, I don't think you have a share button, do you?
I did already share.
Oh, when you before you hit publish, basically. The share means publish. It means it's going onto the timeline of that group.
Okay, but only the group.
Yep, so go ahead and hit share, okay? All it means is if you're sharing it, it means, Rosie, that it's gonna stay on there and someone can go view it later in that group. If you don't share it, then it means that the live someone could have only viewed it if they looked at it right when you were live at the same time. It's like, do you guys know about like Snapchat, how it stays, or even your stories, how it stays only for 24 hours and then other people can't see it anymore. So if you don't share it, it means that people still saw it, whoever saw it, right? But if they didn't see it, they can't see it again unless you share it to the timeline. So it's not sharing to you, it's wherever you went live, that's where it's sharing to. So that's a great question also, because, okay, let's say, Rosie, that you're having, you make an event for something. So let's say you're doing a Rotary Club Zoom meeting or something, but you've created an event on Facebook for it, or maybe you're doing a first-time buyer seminar and it's going to be a Zoom, and you've created an Eventbrite and there's an event on Facebook for it. You want to go live. If you're going to make an announcement to those people, you have to go live in that group, just like you did. You first found the virtual network, right? And then you click there to go live. If you just click go live, like you can do that from the very like regular screen on your Facebook, right? Where your home screen, where it says, tell me something or whatever, what's on your mind. If you go live there, it doesn't go to any specific group. It goes on your own wall. It goes where everybody who knows you can see you, right?
I see, okay.
Does that make sense?
Yes.
Okay.
And then for the purpose of then when you delete it and save it, it's only for the group that you are in.
If you delete it, even the group can't see it anymore.
Okay.
So
So you save it, even if you say delete but save.
if you save, it saves to your phone so you can view it later to your phone,
Okay,
like
got it.
Photos app.
Mhm.
But if you want to hit share to make it stick to the wall. So let's say, Rosie, that you're doing a live video, you're walking down the street and you see a beautiful house and you're like, I'm going to go live, okay? So you're going to do, oh my God, look at this house, you guys, blah, 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 blah. At the end, if you want people to be able to see the video later, you have to hit share. Otherwise, it disappears from everywhere.
But you don't do save, you just do share like I did.
Yeah, you have to
Okay.
share it for it to stick on your wall,
Okay,
okay? Or in the
got
group
it.
or wherever you are. If you don't want it to stick there, like you literally only did, okay, so I'll give you an example, and this is kind of a weird example, but last weekend, it was my friend's birthday, right? And so we were socially distancing, so we decided to take an RV instead of a car to the place that we were going to so we could be apart more, right? There's like 6 of us. And I was taking video in the group, right? And it was a live video. And then when I'm looking at it, because you can kind of view it, right, before you hit share so you can see what happened. Okay, I realized that my friend was sitting there with her skirt and it was like really yanked up high on the seat, okay? This is an example. So I'm going, okay, I'm not gonna put, if someone noticed that, whatever, it's done, but I'm not gonna make it stick on the wall because then someone could literally go look at it again, right? It's just a weird example, but I'm just saying if something happens and you're like, no, I don't want that to be viewable later, then you don't share it. That means that it's gonna go away. You can save it for yourself and then, you know, maybe upload it somewhere where you can edit it out or something. But if you share it, it sticks on that wall, right? Make sense? I know this is like a lot of stuff and now we're already out of time for today. But is this helpful to you guys, like actually trying it?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes,
Yes.
great.
Good.
Absolutely helpful.
Okay, good. So glad. So yeah, I mean, this stuff is just, there's so much, right? And then you just don't end up doing it unless you actually try it. So that is it for today. So just having some scripting down, right? Scripts are very, very important, but you got to take a minute to just the action steps, right? So make sure you have an opening and a closing on your scripts when you're doing videos. That states who you are so that people can remember. And your in between, your sandwich can be anything. So you input in between whatever content you're talking about. It does not have to be real estate related, but obviously it makes sense if it's like something. And remember that people go to these avenues for entertainment value, not for necessarily, you know, learning how to buy a house. So if you can bridge the gap with something fun or some current events or something like that, and then, so that's one thing, right? So make sure you have that script up and down and you keep using it. If you're doing any live videos or something like that, please use the front and the back so that you can, it will come off roll off your tongue next time, okay? I promise you within 3 days, you're not gonna ever do a video again without saying those things, right? Okay, step number 2 that we talked about was trying to do the Zoom on your own, right? So go in there and say, host a meeting with video and talk to yourself and maybe even say that script, or you can go as far as showing comps and making sure that you have a system. And when you end it, it will record it for you, right? So try it out. And step number 3 that we did not discuss yet, I would really, really like you guys to ask a friend if you can practice your Zoom on them. Meaning, ask somebody, hey, would it be okay if, do you have like 10 minutes to let me know if like, you know, my Zoom looks good if I'm sitting here like this? Is there enough light, right? So not to be critical of anyone here, but like for instance, Rosie has really good light here, right? You guys can all agree, right? And yet I'm seeing some, because you're wearing your glasses, I see some reflection, right? Which is fine. Can't do anything about that. So, but maybe there's a way where like she might not want to sit right in front of a window versus the window being a little to the side or something. Just try it out, like pay attention, right? And then if we look at this, so Zarina is looking down, right? And she's frozen also, I think. I don't know, on my screen you are. Radha, you got your backlit, so that's no bueno. You got to be the way around so people can see it. Okay? Right, so try it out with some friends and just ask them to give you feedback, and maybe even give them that front and back script and just ask them like, what do you think about me saying this? Like, does this sound normal? Or what else should I say? You know, go to your friends who are like the true, or your family that are the true friends. Like, I'll tell my friend, like, what do you think if I say this? And she goes, no, that's really not your thing. Like, your thing is more fun. Like, you need to make it more fun. You know, they'll tell you the right thing. And so, you know, you can take that into account as well. Okay. Thanks, Patricia. You're so sweet. So, all right, guys, that's it. 3 things. You already tested the live video, so that's great. Okay. Tomorrow, same time, and we're gonna go deep into YouTube. So if you can, you probably want to, if you can, hop on from your computer, just so that I can show you how you can also do lives on YouTube on your phone and connect all of those accounts. So you don't have to, but if you can, just hop on the computer. Okay, I will make a note to myself to upload that thing that Diana showed us about the visual clues when I get home today. So I'll take a picture of that and send it to you guys in the group. All right, if you have any questions, meanwhile, call me, text me, and do a video. Give your people to see.
You know, that video live went to my Facebook also.
Yes, I saw that.
Yeah, I just deleted because it was like.
Your video went to your Facebook?
Yeah.
Yes.
Directly to my Facebook.
Mm-hmm.
But you went to Virtual Network,
I went to Virtual Network, yeah.
Yeah.
That
That's
is so
strange.
bizarre.
What is your Facebook?
Rosie, yeah, the Rosie Clark Riera, the same. Rosie Clark Riera. I just deleted because it was like.
Yeah, I saw it.
Yeah. So I was wondering why.
So mine didn't. So I think you guys, I don't think it went to yours, Rosie. I think you're seeing it.
But I saw it. I saw it from Rosie's.
You're in the group.
Maybe.
You saw it because you're in the group.
Okay.
You can't, it's not gonna go to you. So where did you find it then? In your newsfeed, or did you actually go to your wall?
Let's see.
Different things, right? So here's, for instance, my video from earlier today, right?
Mm-hmm.
So there's no video. I haven't deleted it yet. So this is my personal page. But you know, it's gonna, if I go to my newsfeed, it's gonna show there. I'm gonna see my own video, and I'm gonna see all of your videos if we're in the same group.
Okay, maybe I thought, but now, well, I deleted some.
So like I can see Zarina. It says Zarina was live. But I can, okay, where am I seeing this post?
I think I deleted mine, so probably you won't have it because I thought that was in my Facebook and it was just a practice. So
okay, so you know what?
I will play with it.
Let me see one more thing. It could be the publicity settings. So, for instance, okay, here's why. When you go to start the video, when you go to go live video, see how at the top it says who it's visible to.
Okay.
That's my bad, guys. I should have gone over that with you. I have that set, so I didn't even remember.
Okay.
Do it again, Rosie. Just go act like you're starting a new live video in the group or anywhere, really. But I think in the group is important to have it set so that it says to members of this.
Accessing it to members, private group. Okay.
Okay, then if you have it on members, then you're good. But Zarina, yours is on public. So
Yeah,
you
it says
wanna-
private group. I see. Okay.
Do you see it? So you want to make sure you click that and have it to, it should be set to members only. Or it can't even change it. Yeah, mine is so that I cannot even change it. It's just, that's just the way it is. So I wonder if, oh. Yeah, you can't change it. If you're in a private group, it's only gonna go to a private group, guys. There's no way. You must have just seen it because it's you.
Oh, okay. Got it.
And you can see each other's, that's what I said. If you're in the same group, they can see you,
Okay.
right? Just like if you post in KW Social Connection, right? Everybody there can see it. They don't have to go to the page. They'll get a notification that you were live in that page because they follow that page, okay? So it's automatically, if the group is private, you cannot have it on any other setting. It's only gonna go to the group, so you don't have to worry about it. But if your group is a public group where anyone can join, then you can change the setting when you go to make the post.
Got it. Okay.
Okay, so that's the only reason. No one else can see it. But yeah, I'll make sure to take all of them down anyway so people aren't confused. Okay, guys, thank you for sticking with me. And I'm glad we tried that out, right? So we'll see you tomorrow at 10 a.m.
Thank you, Sonia.
Thank
Bye,
you.
Thank
Have
you
a
so
good
much.
day. Bye.
Bye, everybody.